Hi. Suppose a loved one suddenly collapsed in your kitchen. Would you know what to do? Probably would scream for help, call 911, wait for paramedics and comfort them until they get there. Well, this happened to a friend of mine. We were both 24 years old. She had two little girls. One was 3 years old, one was 2 months old. She was coloring Easter eggs and stood up to answer the phone and collapsed in the middle of the kitchen floor, and her husband did just that. He screamed for help, he called 911 and comforted her until the paramedics arrived. She was pronounced dead at the scene. She died of sudden cardiac arrest. My name is Deborah, and I've been in the nursing profession for more than 30 years. I do have a BLS and a CPR certification. I have administered CPR in many facilities that I've worked in, and also a few times as a bystander. And I want to introduce to you something that's called hands-only CPR. According to the American Heart Association, hands-only CPR is done without mouth-to-mouth breaths. It's recommended for use only on a witnessed cardiac arrest, only on a teen or an adult. When sudden collapse happens and you see it, that's called sudden cardiac arrest. According to the American Heart Association Emergency Care Committee, there are 2 easy steps to the hands-only CPR. The first step is call 911. The second step, push hard and fast. On the person's chest, making compressions. Step 1, call 911. Step 2, press hard and fast. The American Heart Association reported just this last week, on November 11th, 2017, a 6th grade class, several of them were taught hands-only CPR, age 12. Now these children, most of them did remember to call 911. Most of them did perform hands-only in the correct location, and they gave high-quality chest compressions, which is important. So even a 12-year-old can do this. I understand that most of you in the public are a little leery about doing CPR. You have lots of good reasons, I understand. Like, it's too complicated. How can I ever remember all of those compressions and all those breaths? Well, hands only, you only have to remember the 2 things. Call 911, chest compressions. It's meant only for doctors and nurses and medical field. Well, I'll show you some statistics here in a bit. The 31% of you out there would not be alive if it were not for bystanders doing just the hands only. I might catch a disease, not with hands only. You're not doing mouth to mouth. You can wash your hands. I might get sued. Well, back in the day maybe, but not now. The Good Samaritan law is in effect in all 50 states in the United States. Now I'm going to show you good reasons to learn hands-only CPR. The American Heart Association released in the Sudden Cardiac Arrest Foundation newsletter, in 2011, you'll see, there were 326,000 people that experienced out-of-hospital cardiac arrest in the United States. That is 336,000 people that had cardiac arrest in the public or in your homes. In 2014, of course it increased. It increases every year. 424,000 people experience an out-of-hospital cardiac arrest. Out of these 426,000, if you'll notice here, it says these are the ones that survived, that were treated by the EMS, the Emergency Medical Services. That is 10%. Someone made the call, 911 showed up, they comforted them, 10% made it. Out of the bystanders who did hands-only CPR, of the 424,000, 31% survived. And that's a good reason to learn hands-only CPR. The committee has concluded that adult victims of out-of-hospital cardiac arrest who receive bystander CPR as opposed to the traditional CPR, they have the similar chance of survival. Now, there are rules to the according to the Emergency Cardiovascular Care Committee. These rules are, is not to be done on an unwitnessed cardiac arrest. You happen upon someone and they've already fell out, no. It is not to be used on children. It is not to be used on a person who you know that they have their heart has stopped for other reasons. These cases need more prominent medical attention, and hands-on CPR could actually harm them. In conclusion, hands-only CPR can save a life. Everyone really should learn it. Everyone. It's easy. It's only 2 steps. No mouth-to-mouth, so no disease, no lawsuits, the Good Samaritan law. And it's already reported that 31% of people survived when just a layman, an ordinary person, performed hands-only CPR. So let's improve that number. My young friend collapsed in her kitchen because nobody knew what to do. If you collapse in my kitchen, I know what to do. If I collapse in yours, do you? I urge you to come up here and get a flyer, or go to the American Heart Association on the internet and learn how to do hands-on CPR. You won't learn just from what I just showed you, so go to the website and you might save a life today. Thank you.